Welcome to the Unnamed Podcast.
Weren't we talking about calling it the ops room? But now we're in the firehouse.
Yes, so
Our first idea was the ops room, and we would interview people as they came in on just a regular shift, which is still a good idea.
I think we should do that. I think we can call it the ops room.
Should we go to the ops room then, or just stay in here?
No, I'm too tired to move.
Right. So the name of the podcast, the ops room. That's what we're gonna call it. Special guest interviews, talking about days on the ramp, talking about
Stories, a lot of stories, old stories.
a lot of stories, old
A lot
stories,
of passenger stories.
news stories.
That's kind of what. Oh shit! I just forgot. There's a guy in the lobby
Right now?
that I passed by. He was just like sitting there.
Maybe he's waiting for someone to get off United's flight.
No, but he had like bags. I ran by and I said hi, but
Hi.
yeah, security or United will deal with it.
Yeah, no problem. We're off the clock. Off the clock.
So, yeah, that's the podcast idea.
Did we get into
My name
personal life?
is of course.
Okay, cool.
I think this is more for us than anything.
Then it's more of a our lives rather than about the station. But our lives take a lot of time here at the station, so it's just going to be about that too.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves.
Okay. Hiroshaki Nagasan, whatever you
Oh my God, fucking read. My name is Hiro. Last name being Nishikura. I don't have a middle name.
You really don't have a middle name?
No, I do not.
Is that a Japanese thing to not have middle names?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
So I don't have a middle name. I'm an aspiring pilot. I also have a lot of passion for photography and visual arts, videography, especially in aviation. That all brings everything together. I want to become a pilot, but I wouldn't be opposed to becoming a photographer. I just want to do it in the aviation industry. I just love planes. It's just like I have to be somewhere near planes. But other than that, I work on the ramp, and I'm a customer service agent. I do everything. I'm trained in everything. I'm signed off in everything.
You're even D-ICE signed off.
Yes, I'm D-ICE certified. 19 years old, and I'm a Leo.
A Leo, you really had to throw in that you're a Leo. I'm an asparagus.
Okay, I'm a cucumber.
You're a cucumber? Okay, glad we got our produce out of the way. Okay, my name is Eric Louthan Fritz II. And my sister's name is also Erica, and my dad's name is Eric, thus why I'm the second. Which is actually really interesting. I think I've told you this before, but my dad's nickname in high school was Easy E. He was a player, so also that's probably why he was called Easy. But, Easy E.
I like that.
And the actual Easy E, Eric Wright, has a son named Eric and a daughter named Erica also.
Very cool.
So there's a little something for you. Okay, Eric Fritz. And I am also a ramp.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, I want to hear.
Fitz.
Fitz.
Or
Fitz.
Fitzy,
Fitz.
Or Fitzy. I can be gone as Huo.
Huo.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And Hiroya.
Yes, Hiroya. People have called me like Cebolla. Cebolla is onion in Spanish.
I didn't even know that. That's pretty funny.
What else have people called me? Oh, I've been called like. That's actually no, we're good. Oh, Big H. Big H is a good one. My Spanish name was Jeremy.
What?
I don't know.
How did that happen?
My Russian name was fuck.
Babushka.
Yes, Babushka. Babushka. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
He's a ramper.
Ramper, just like this guy. Not here quite as long. Been here 6 months as of next week. I am also an aspiring pilot, which is why I'm here. I have jumped around different career paths, wanted to be a cop for a long time. Then I was going to be a salesman because I like money, but realized that I hated my life after I was a salesman for a year. Wanted to
Made good money, though.
I made great money. That's how I got my car. Was able to go out anytime I wanted to go out. Oh, it was great. But decided that I wanted to be a pilot and there was more important things than money. So went out, got a job here at Santa Rosa. I drive an hour and 10 minutes just to get here and an hour and 10 minutes home with no traffic because I am so dedicated to Alaska. Love this company.
He is remarkable.
Remarkable.
He does the right thing.
I am creating an airline people
Delivers
love.
Performance.
hmm
He does safety.
I am safety.
He speaks safety.
hmm
Show him your vest.
My vest. Ready, safe, go. Whoa. So after I decided I couldn't be a salesman, came here to pursue the pilot development program, which originally started off as a $10,000 stipend. After I was here for a year, once I got my private pilot's license, started working on that, realized I couldn't afford it, working this job, commuting 600 miles a week. And so just as I was looking at other options, military being one, working on a ranch being one, Alaska decides to announce its pilot academy. And so at different times, we were both unsure about it, but at the moment, we were both pretty much sold.
Yes.
And now we had our interviews. We are just waiting to hear back. Fingers crossed that we'll get in and be the same class and both be in Hillsboro. And now we are caught up on our lives, I think.
Yeah. I think it's important for people to know kind of the history between us. We obviously met here, but it wasn't like we were instantly friends. But now I'd say we are both each other's best friends.
Yes, facts. You actually kind of intimidated me at first.
Yeah, apparently I don't even really remember his first. I was probably just like running around and shit.
Yeah, and you were fixing my mistakes that I made. I noticed that sometimes. I wouldn't necessarily. I felt like I was supposed to be doing stuff, and you were running around doing stuff, and I'm like, this guy, I need to figure out what this guy's doing so I can learn how to do this job.
I had no idea I did that.
Yeah,
I probably have. Yeah. Well, I have done that with some people here, new hires, where I go around fixing the things they do just because, I don't know. I just do it. And sometimes I'm told to do it. Sometimes I just do it just to do it. I don't know. But yeah, and then we just kind of, we had similar shifts.
It was the Ron shift
Yes.
when we had 2.5 hour split. And we were both, all we basically knew about each other at that time was that we both wanted to be pilots.
Right.
And so we decided, hey, let's use this time we're going to study together. And I don't think we ever studied, except for when we went over to Kaiser to talk with Anthony.
I did a little bit like here.
A little bit. And I would read, we read our little weather chapter. But for the most part, when we were in here, we were just talking.
No. And that's how we really got to know each other. We just sit in here and we just like talk for the 2 hours. And, we talked about basically everything, like life, what we wanted, what we've experienced.
Then we went to Alaska.
Yeah, and then we kind of accelerated. Fuck.
Excelsior.
It accelerated, not accelerated. I just
Expedited.
no. Whatever. You guys get the idea. That trip kind of helped us bond even more.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Kodiak for 2 days.
3 days.
Okay,
Cool.
3 days
2
and
nights.
2 nights.
I was worried it was going to be awkward, but it wasn't.
Were you really?
A little bit, like if there was like a lot of awkward silences or something. But the thing is about our silences is it doesn't feel awkward. But we don't have that many silences.
I didn't even think about that. I just felt like it was supernatural.
Yeah, I felt that too. I just always get like nervous going somewhere with someone that I don't know that well.
Okay, well, next time we go somewhere, it won't be that awkward.
Well, no, I don't think it was awkward at all. That's the thing. I was worried about it being awkward.
Gotcha. So we went to Kodiak, and then we just became good friends, and the rest is history. We joke around. We're kind of like I don't know.
Comedic relief.
Yeah, he really is. I just kind of tag along and help his cause.
My cause, my mission to make STS funny.
Yeah, I just kind of tag along and just kind of support him and add to his jokes maybe sometimes.
Also, I want to preface this This is a boring episode. If you don't know us and you don't care about aviation or Santa Rosa Station, then this is going to be a boring episode. But if you stick around, we're just introducing ourselves, introducing what this is going to be. We're both pretty funny guys. So if you stick around to listen to our stories, to listen to things that happen on a daily basis, listen to things going on in our lives, this will be interesting for anybody, even if you're not into aviation, not into ramping, not into random bullshit that we do. You will think this is funny. Yeah. But this is going to be a boring episode just setting it up. Yeah. So stick around.
It's gonna be coming more down to human interactions, which is kind of causes drama, and that's what people are attracted to in terms of entertainment. So I feel like those are gonna be the best interactions, the best when we interview people. But I think when you start, you gotta know who the hosts are, kind of. So It's important to have this. And if you're listening to this, watching this, you know who we are. Oh, you didn't even say. He's also 19.
Oh, also 19.
And we're like very similar boats. Yeah.
We're starting up a TikTok. These will be going. Where are we posting this? We got to definitely on TikTok.
Why?
Because all the best podcasts are on TikTok. Joe Rogan. The Therapy Gecko.
I'm sorry, but I don't participate in TikTok.
I will be in charge of the TikToks.
I will let him do that. I'm a very big Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube guy.
Okay.
And nothing else really.
What about Spotify? Should we post this on Spotify?
Well, you have Spotify. I don't. You can do it if you want.
Oh, I'll learn it. I'll have to do it. But yeah, because I think podcasts are normally on like music streaming, right? I don't know that much about podcasts. Okay.
Apple Music and Apple's. Wait, I don't even know. Maybe not. I listen to it on. I usually listen to podcasts on YouTube or podcasts. The Apple's podcast app.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll start off on TikTok, Spotify, Instagram. Follow us on TikTok, Delta Waffle _. That's an inside joke as well.
No underscore.
Underscore at the end of Delta for our TikTok. Yeah.
Oh, for TikTok, yeah.
Yeah.
For Instagram, it's Delta Waffle.
Yeah.
And we can do our personals somewhere too.
Yeah.
I don't have
a personal TikTok anymore. I just turned my personal into our Delta Waffle.
All right, so that's kind of it. I mean,
we'll explain some inside jokes as they go along. Delta Waffle's one. You'll see our bios, another one. Trying to think. Yeah, there's definitely going to be more coming along.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, what else can we talk about?
If anyone has any questions, we can answer about, getting your private pilot's license. We're in the process of it. We're in the heat of it. We don't know that much. Any pilots out there want to give advice? Always want to listen to that. This guy's an expert photographer, so if you're in the Santa Rosa area, hit him up.
That's my guy. He's got me. But yeah.
Have any questions about just aviation, commercial airlines? This guy probably knows it.
Any questions about cars? This guy knows
Not
it.
any. But
well, if you say that about commercial aviation,
okay.
I mean, I didn't really know what the B-52 was.
Yeah.
So I'm really not a military guy. I don't really know GA or private that much. I'm obsessed with commercial aircraft, airlines, routes, aircraft types, all this and that, manufacturers, the economics, the politics, all that is very fascinating to me.
I'm actually very similar with that about cars. Like, I can talk about brands and why cars were made and things like that. But if you ask me how to freaking work on your car, if it's on YouTube, I can do it. But if it's anything else, I can't. And I think that's our differences of flying as well, is that you got into flying because you were so into aviation, whereas I got into flying because I am really into exploring and adventure. Not to say that you're not into exploring or adventure, but that's really my big thing in the past few years, is I've become obsessed with finding new places, exploring, going to different national parks and all that. And I discovered a love for road trips, which stemmed from my love of cars. And I think that has translated over to a love for flying and aviation, which has been starting to develop, and learning a lot from this guy right here.
I think we should, yeah, we should. I mean, you kind of talked about your background with how you've come here, but for me, I have family in Japan, and as long as I can remember, well, all my family lives in Japan or overseas, so as long as I can remember, I've been flying back and forth. So aviation has been the biggest part of my life for as long as I can remember. It's connected me to my family and everything I've known. So it's such a beautiful thing to me. It's the connection. It's kind of an emotional experience for me sometimes, just like thinking about when I take off from somewhere and I'm like thinking about what I did there and what I accomplished and who I saw and, you know, all this. And then when I go back to somewhere, it's like, because back then, you know, I don't go to Japan as much anymore, but back then it was like going between two houses, two homes that I knew so well. So every time I would take off or land somewhere, it was like a new beginning, an ending. It was very emotional. And for me, my thing with this whole photography, videography, and aviation is I don't really believe in actual time travel, but I think both of these are probably one of the closest things we can get to time travel. Like, there's no other way for you to get from San Francisco to New York in 5 hours and be sitting in one place the whole time. You know, you're being transported. Like, even though you do sit there for 5 hours, it's still like incredibly fast. And that's the same with photography and videography. Like, you take a picture, you take a video, and you store that somewhere, and you go back and look at it, and it brings back so much. Like, and that there's auditory experience as well. I really believe in the auditory experience of a video, a photo, even, you know, just adding music to a photo like a slideshow. But, you know, that's kind of my thing there. I've loved aviation for as long as I can remember. I mean, I've had phases of, like, you know, cars, trains, baseball, all this and that, but aviation has always been somewhere lurking, and it's become more passionate as I've gotten older. And this job is really, like, last year at this point in time, I was just kind of a lost high school kid. I was like, well, I really like baseball right now. I know I like planes. I know I like taking pictures. I'm about to graduate. What am I going to do? And then I was like, I just want to kind of work at the airport. So I found this job, and getting here, working, seeing all these planes, working on these planes, even just going to Seattle for my drug test was, like, so fun for me because I got to fly on a plane. I got to see all these planes that I haven't seen because of COVID. And, like, it was just, like, it reignited it, like, that fire in me so much. Like, right now I'm so obsessed with planes. Like, I can't even, like, I just look at my model airplanes, or I look at online at these pictures of planes, and I just can't, like, it, like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like my life, you know?
Yeah. See, and I feel that way about it, just getting places in general. And it's funny because you grew up going different places, going back from Japan to here, and you kind of just grew up traveling. For me, I had family in Michigan, Ohio, Texas, but I never saw any of them except for when they would come to California. Oh, by the way, Santa Rosa, California. That's where we are currently. I live in the East Bay. He lives here.
Sorry, we should have discussed this earlier. But
yeah, this is a little scattered, but
I feel like no. I feel like maybe we should have kept that, but it's fine.
Oh, you can cut that too.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
People know we're going to ascend. So.
Right. Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah. So you kind of grew up traveling. I grew up just at home. You know, my dad didn't like to drive that many places. My mom, you know, she liked San Francisco, so we would go there. So I never really went further than 20 miles in any direction. So once I turned 18 and I went on my first road trip through the state of California, that was when I realized, man, there's other things out there. So I went from that to driving to Portland. Then I went from that to driving to the Grand Canyon. Then I went that to going on a circuit through all the way to Great Basin, Nevada, Moab, Utah, Boise, Idaho, Four Corners. That was, again, scattered. Down to Four Corners, through Boise, Idaho, Union Creek, Oregon, and then back home. That's when I, really discovered my love of driving, operating vehicles, getting myself places. And so that's why I wanted to look into something to where I could go even further and even faster. And again, operate that myself and, really be at my own control of where I want to go and how I want to get there. And so aviation provides that freedom in a way that no other industry or no other vehicle in the world can provide. And so that's what brought me here, making next to nothing, barely scraping by, but it's what got me to meet this guy. It's what got me to develop a love of airplanes that I knew I had a love of operating, but I didn't realize how much I could love actual aircraft. And that's something that's been building in me, something have had more of a desire to learn about and be around. I honestly, at this point, couldn't imagine a life around airplanes. When I was going to do the military, I was going to drive trucks because I knew I liked to drive. But now I want to do aviation maintenance because I want to be around planes. I can't imagine not having a job around aircraft at this moment. And so hopefully this pilot academy works out. And because that would be pretty much the best answer to all of our questions right now.
Yeah. So we both had he had an interview yesterday for Ascend. I had one today, and they both asked us where we want to be in 5 to 10 years. The short answer that we both gave is that we want to be a captain at Horizon by 5 and a first officer at Alaska Mainline in 10, and I said I want to be Arctic certified, which we'll get into at some point. But beyond that, what else would you hope for in 5 years and then 10 years?
5 years, I want my own place. I want freedom, financial freedom. I mean, honestly, that's the key. That's the buzzword right there. Is I want financial freedom. I want to own what I want. In reason, of course, I don't, strive to be owning Lamborghinis and mansions in 5 years, but I don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck. At this moment, I can't even eat out. I can't even eat Jack in the Box as often as I want to. So if I could have the means to be able to provide that for myself. Okay. If I could have the means to be able to provide those sorts of things for myself, as well as a stable place to live, pay my car payments, maybe even help out my parents, that's where I would strive to be. And aviation, the commercial airlines, is a perfect way to do that, while also living the type of life that I want to live. Girlfriend would be nice.
Dog? Kid?
Dog? No kid. 5 years? Hell no kid. Dog. 10 years? Cat? Heck no. Cats are the worst.
Lizard?
Lizard? I could go for a lizard.
Oh, really?
I'd go for a lizard. I had a bearded dragon. I had a bearded dragon for like 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, her name was Pika. She liked to
Fish?
be pet. Fish? I've had a few fish. Koi?
Get a koi.
They're expensive.
I know.
Like $3,000.
I know.
It's insane.
You know what? Fucking Michael.
Oh yeah, he fell into the koi pond.
Yeah, in The Office, if anybody knows that reference.
But yeah.
Well, okay, here, 10 years.
10 years. So the truth is that Alaska is a great airline. I would like to be Arctic certified, stationed in Anchorage would be cool. But also I have a desire to go far, go to places that Alaska simply doesn't fly to. So maybe a career with United or American would be nice too. They pay the highest in the industry as well. And the United goes the most places. So, of course, in the interview, I said that I want to be with the Air Group forever, which could be an option. I love Alaska. I love the state of Alaska. So if I could live my life there, that would be perfectly fine for me. But also, I would explore the option of going to an airline like United or American and go more places, make a little bit more money. So I'm kind of open at that moment. Definitely don't want to say a definite statement right now. It would just kind of depend, but state of Alaska is beautiful. I'm addicted. I've been once, and I just want to go back. And so at the moment, I could definitely see settling down and living a life there. Yeah. But also, I want to see a lot of the world, which can be done not working, too. Who's to say I have to fly, for United? I can fly on United. So that's another way of looking at it as well.
Before I say my 5 and 10 years, I just want to tell everybody how underrated and beautiful Alaska is. It's truly it's it's so refreshing. It's so grand and like it's sublime. Like it's so hard to like you see it in documentaries and pictures and stuff, but you actually have to see it with your own eyes because it's just like an unbelievable experience. It's almost emotional, like some of the stuff you see, and it's like wow, the world is so beautiful. Like the earth is so beautiful. There's so much like I mean, it depends on the season you go, but there's so much green. There's so much wildlife, so much snow sometimes. It's just it's like and the thing is right now with this whole Russia thing going on and you know people moving out of California and this and that, it's going to become more popular. If you're into real estate, I would definitely buy some land near Anchorage because that I'm telling you Anchorage is going to get popping soon like
Social media is really making it go off because people are finally realizing how amazing it is.
Yeah.
And so more people are wanting to go. And it starts off as vacations and tourists, but I think eventually it will turn into more population. I think what really sets Alaska apart from any other vacation destination, specifically Hawaii, is that how untouched by man it is. So much of it. I mean, you have to be a pilot to live there, basically, because that's how you get around. It's boats and planes.
Yeah, Alaska has the most private pilots per capita, so.
And I'd like to think about how many pilots aren't even known by the FAA over there.
Yeah, true. So if you think about all the people who just like fly like illegally and maybe like are technically like solo students or something, you know.
That was the guy I was sitting next to on our way to Anchorage.
Yeah.
He was looking at the book I was reading. He's like, "What's that?" I was like, "It's the PHAC, the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge." And I'm like, "I'm studying for my private pilots. It's my PHAC." He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a pilot, but I never really got through that book."
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of it's like the wild west and there's a lot of opportunity there. Like you could probably build like a legitimate business there if you really worked hard. I mean it's really really beautiful. And like I was saying, this is kind of political and stuff, but like with this whole Russia thing going on, the Russian airspace is closing, so Anchorage Airport's going to become much more important in the geopolitics. Same with the passageway, the harbor, because the seas are rising and certain places are melting, and so the passageway there is going to become much more important. You have oil from Prudhoe Bay coming down, which is very important for the United States, and there's just like a lot of things that is going well for Alaska right now, and people are trying to jumping on that bandwagon, but it's still unknown and seems really far and out of reach for a lot of people. But for us, I mean, we've been there. I've been there a few times, and you've been once. And it's literally like so beautiful, and I'm glad that it's so accessible for us because we work for this airline that's literally like the number one provider in Alaska. So I'm very grateful that I do work for this airline in that sense because there's no other airline that serves Alaska as much as we do. But my 5 years and 10 years, like Eric said, financial freedom, my own place, most definitely. I'd love to be living in Anchorage like this man. Hopefully,
Together?
yeah, we could live together, share girlfriends or something.
Share girlfriends. Whoa, easy.
No.
Who said anything about girlfriends?
Hopefully, a captain for the E-175 on Horizon. I'm not sure if they call it the Arctic certification for the E, but I'd love to be Alaska certified for the E-175 in Alaska. I don't know. It's like King Salmon, Kodiak now has the E. Mm-hmm. I think Bethel and I forget. There's a few more. There's like there's like 4 or 5 I think out of Anchorage, and obviously Fairbanks. But Fairbanks and Anchorage are not Arctic. You don't need Arctic certification. They do have pretty long runways and good ILS. ILSs into their runways. So hopefully just kind of the same thing. Financial freedom, my own place. Hopefully Anchorage, captain for Horizon. Maybe I'll have a pretty good side business with my photography, freelance for the airlines. Airlines, I say with the S because I don't know I don't know what's going on with Alaska Horizon. 10 years, hopefully, like Eric, maybe I'll still be at Alaska, which I don't think I would have that big of an issue with. I do think I'm kind of someone that needs change quite often, so I might get bored and want to fly something bigger, something smaller, something more challenging. I'm really interested in Evert's cargo. I'm all because they fly like the DC-9 and the MD-83 cargo. I'm very interested in also Omni Air. They fly the 222 and the 762. They fly literally everywhere in the world because they transport military, U.S. military. So wherever there's a base, they fly to basically.
I would look into that. That sounds really cool, actually.
Yeah, I think you'd really like that.
Yeah.
I'm really into Omni. I'm kind of obsessed with Omni, honestly. I fly on Infinite Flight. It's a mobile flight sim. I have about 4,500 hours in it, and yeah, I love flying on Omni because they just fly these really bizarre routes on these big planes, and it's really fun to do those kind of things. So that's kind of Omni is up there. I'd love to work for Delta. I've only heard good things about working for Delta. I'd love to fly wide bodies, 777. I know Delta doesn't have it, but Omni would still have the 777 probably.
Delta doesn't have 777s?
No, they retired their 222 LRs late last year, I think. So, yeah, I'd be flying, the A330, A350. That'd be fucking sick as hell. I love those planes.
Do you have any A380s?
No U.S. airline has A380s, unfortunately. Delta, I mean, United American, whatever, I like United. I mean, I've flown United basically my whole life. I've had many different experiences, many, ups and downs with them, but I do like Star Alliance, so I don't know if I get my Star Alliance perks, I'll totally be jumping on that United stuff. But 10 years, hopefully, yeah, first officer on a bigger aircraft, something bigger, maybe Boeing will have a new 797 or something that I'll be able to fly in, or I don't know. All the U.S. airlines would jump on that. So, here's the other thing. I would love to fly the A220. So, Delta and Breeze might have to do that.
Jason's obsessed with Breeze.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he is.
He loves Breeze.
Yeah. So, for context, Jason is one of our coworkers. He's a dear friend of both of ours. He's a very big aviation enthusiast, just like myself and Fritz
He's worked for
as well.
Every airline ever in the whole wide world.
That's not true. He's worked for Envoy and Frontier. He was a manager at Frontier and Envoy as a supervisor. He does have quite a bit of airline experience. He is a master at NetTracer. He's pretty good at image as well. Yeah, he's a big sports guy. Sports and aviation, kind of his things. But Jason apparently really loves Breeze. I do know that, actually. And for anybody who doesn't know, Breeze is one of the very newer airlines in the U.S. They fly on the East Coast. They will be coming out to the West Coast this year, but they fly the 220 and the E190. So the A220 is a very beautiful aircraft. I'd love to fly that thing. It's like the better E175, whatever. But yeah, I think the 220 would be the perfect market for here to Seattle, if Alaska bought them. And it's so versatile too. It's a good plane. So
I think the problem with introducing new aircraft to the fleet is just all like the minute details of equipment, training, everything about that. Right. So hesitant to add. That's why I think Avelo is so successful, is because they only do the 737s.
Well, that's what Southwest does. That's what Ryanair does. That's what EasyJet does. That's what,
right.
Everybody does. The low costs, Indigo, I don't know, Tiger Air, whatever.
Because you have
blah, blah, blah.
only one set of training for pilots, one set of training for ramp. You only need specific equipment.
Yeah.
It makes it all so much easier.
Yeah.
And maintenance.
Right. Parts.
Mm-hmm.
Parts is a big one. So, no, it's
it's a very easy success algorithm.
Yeah.
Whereas if you want to get risky and possibly, high risk, high reward is the other thing, but adding more aircraft to the fleet. But at this point, Horizon is downgrading its fleet or getting rid of the Q400.
Yeah, but they are going to replace them with the E175s. But that means we will literally be working on the E175 for me at least, from high school on to whoever, like 5-6 years. I will literally be working on this aircraft, whether it be on the ramp, below the wing, or above the wing. I will be working on this aircraft.
Yep.
So,
We'll know it like the back of our hands.
yeah. I mean, I'll unload that pit as a captain. Who?
Yeah.
I mean,
The other day we had a captain actually vacuum for us.
really?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's a cool guy. I like to give him a high five. Yeah, and that's the kind of thing like whenever we do these, we'll have these insider kind of information stories about, whatever happens on the ramp, whatever happens doing customer service for us. Sometimes, we might be in very bad moods because we get yelled at or something. Or,
No one else is working. We're the only ones working.
Exactly, which kind of happens pretty often here, unfortunately, but
Also, we'll have to screen this for any SSI we may accidentally leak.
there is none. I will be conscious of it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
As we hide our
we
security badges.
we hide our badges, but that's kind of it for us, right?
I think so. First episode wrapped up.
Yeah, it's about a half an hour, which is perfect.
Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna probably cut some of it too.
I won't.
No.
I'm too lazy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not really public, but I do have a YouTube channel that has a whole bunch of videos of just shenanigans on the ramp. I don't know if I want to say it, so maybe I won't. If you find it in the description or something somewhere, that means I decided to make it public, but if it's not, then I decided not to. But I might eventually.
Maybe we'll drop it later down the line.
Yeah, whatever I feel comfortable.
It has a lot of personal videos and stuff on there too.
Yeah, that you have to do a little bit digging for, so I'm not too worried about it. But we do talk shit about certain people here, so I don't know if it's the best if we let that into the world.
PSS.
PSS. Well, one of the S's is not that bad anymore. Well, actually, 2 S's aren't that bad anymore.
True.
At least from, I don't know.
No, that's true. That's very true, actually.
Yeah. So it's really the pay.
Just the pay. And one of those S's is only better for us at the moment. Everyone else is just as bad.
Yeah. So I think saying that really gave it away, actually.
There's no way. There's no way.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, it's funny. Yeah. That's like a lot about us, honestly.
It is. So the first episode, it's going to be boring. Like I said, boring for anyone.
It's not boring. Yeah, well, if they don't know.
If you showed this video to some random person on the street, they will not be interested.
Yeah, they'll be like, who the fuck are these motherfuckers? Right. Some stupid. Oh, wait, no, I lied. It's 40 minutes. No, that's usually, that's podcasts are much longer than an hour, half, 2 hours.
Cool. So, yeah, if you're into aviation, ramp life, airport life, a couple of idiots just trying to make our way through it all.
Yeah.
Then you'll like this podcast.
Right. Yeah. And we're still teenagers too.
Yeah.
So we don't really know anything, but I mean,
we don't know shit, and we pretend like we do, or I pretend like I do.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, you say we don't know shit. I mean, we don't have life experience, but here, I think we do know quite a bit more than a lot of people here. Yeah, we know how to do things. Yeah, and if you think about it though, it's like I don't want to like talk down to some of these people, and they chose whatever they chose. But if you think about it, I mean, we're lucky, but at the same time, we have this, I think we have some, or not experience, but like we just have more because we have a passion.
Right. True. So, and a lot of the people,
in that way, I'd say we do know more than some people in some ways.
I think a good way to put it is a lot of people here ended up here, whereas we're starting off here.
Right. Yeah.
So we have a little bit more passion in our eyes, a little bit more hope.
Yes, we have it in our eyes.
I mean, they can't really see yours too well.
Yeah, so this guy's gonna always be cracking racist jokes and homophobic jokes. You guys, if you can't deal with it, just leave now. It's fine. We don't need the
None of us
views.
mean anything by it. It's all love.
We don't need you here if you can't take it. But
Yeah, true.
it's all out of love. It's all out of love. Now you are gonna have to be a little bit more PC about things.
I will. I don't think that was that bad though.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Yeah, that's the episode. Battery's about to run out. I'm surprised this camera has been recording the whole time without an issue. Well, I'll just go home and see.
We'll see what happens. We got nothing.
Yeah, it'll be just us mumbling or something. That'd be terrible. Oh God, I have a really bad feeling.
I think you just made yourself nervous.
Oh man,
Well, one way or another,
it was a good evening.
it was a good evening. Sir? Sir?
Oh, it's past 12 too.
Past 12, that's okay.
Socks off.
Black flag.
Black flag. Yeah, y'all gonna get used to some of these inside jokes. It'll be a fun process of getting to know us, our lives, and the shit we go through. Oh, we should probably continue this if we actually get into Hillsborough,
We absolutely should.
and then we interview the CFIs, our fellow
Yeah.
classmates.
We interview the CFI after we piss them off because we do some dumb shit.
Yeah. Turns around a point. He's like, go turn around that store, and we're like, okay, and then we just do a 90 on the other side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought you said this one. I thought you were talking about
Yeah.
this motherfucking store. Okay. Thanks for listening, my friends. Podcast 2 will be out soon. Cheers.